What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with the next game from KP versus Alliance. Despite what this says, this is in fact Alliance at this point in time, and KP gonna first pick up this Clockwork. Now, Clockwork's a hero that we see on occasion. It's a pretty solid long lane hero. He does not usually thrive in the long lane, but he does survive. He doesn't really get completely owned there too much. Then once you get your level 6, you go around roaming, cogs keeping you and your team safe all the while. But picking up as the first hero, kind of a little bit weird. That will mean that Chen as well as Shadow Demon will be picked up from Alliance. That will be Aki as well as EGM's heroes to play. So their support lineup, just with their first two picks, is very, very solid. But KP going for their Clockwork first pick, kind of a weird pickup there. And they also go with the Gyrocopter. There's a lot more normal, as well as the Venomancer. This is... I'm not too sure what they're going to do with this. Alliance. Their lineup is a little bit more... It's a little bit easier to understand what they're doing. It's a little more standard. Chen as well as Shadow Demon, two heroes that Alliance do use quite a bit, very effectively. Lone Druid, as well as we saw in the last game, Admiral Bulldog just put up an absolute clinic versus Bone, with the Lone Druid dominating the Batrider in the Lone Druid hard lane, dominating the Batrider easy lane. So, whoever does that clearly has to be decent at that hero. And No Tide, damn it, okay, Alliance with the Lone Druid and Chen will signify that they want to go for a little bit of pushing. They'll have so much bulk in the front lines, which I suppose it kind of makes sense for the Venomancer pick as far as that is concerned. If you know that the enemy team is going to be really, really heavy pushing, then the best way to deal with that is to get anti-pushing heroes such as the Venomancer Plague Wards. And if you set a whole bunch of those up, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Alliance to really push in. It's also kind of hard to deal with, well, usually it's kind of hard to deal with the bulky nature of the Chen and Lone Druid push. If you have something like an Enigma pushing or an Ancient Prophet pushing, then, just standard AoE random crap, like 100 damage nukes is usually enough to bring that push to a close. But when you have Chen and Lone Druid that have really, really tanky things on the front lines, then you can't really just go for the regular just AoE nuke down. It will weaken the push definitely by clearing off the real creeps, like the Radiant Dire creeps. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty good way to counter this just by going for that Venomancer. You get those Plague Wards, and then No Tide, Alliance's push will have to go through a lot of those Plague Wards. We'll have to constantly be tickled by that damage. Even though it's not the largest source of damage, it will be very annoying for them. So KP will have a good amount of anti-push with the team that they've crafted themselves thus far. Alliance going to take the initiative and ban out a couple of the mid lane heroes for KP. And probably maybe a Storm Spirit next. I don't know how good Arise's Storm Spirit is, but just targeting those melee those ranged mid lane heroes. Magnus, though, still in the pool, and KP probably would do well to pick that up. It could be a little bit dangerous if you let Alliance pick that one up for S4. And they'll have Admiral Bulldog on the Lone Druid as well, and then you'll have a whole bunch of cleaving later on, and then you probably will be a little bit unhappy about that. But yes, it's going to be a Queen of Pain ban finally for KP. The other two bans from KP, Tinker as well as the Juggernaut. Those are two heroes that, again, are really, really heavy pushing heroes. At least the way people do use Juggernaut is in a really heavy pushing fashion. Get that early point in the healing ward, and then you just steamroll your way forward. And since the Chen creeps as well as the Lone Druid Bear have so much health, that means the healing ward is going to be healing a whole lot of HP per second, even though it is still a low percentage number. It is that actual raw number is actually pretty high, and KP going to go for a Death Prophet. This lineup for KP is very, very interesting. Alliance are going to go for the Night Stalker, which is a hero that's a little bit more standard, especially for them. S4's Night Stalker is pretty darn good. But KP with the Death Prophet pickup possibly would mean that they want to go for a lot of pushing themselves. Death Prophet is a hero that we don't really see that often. She does have a lot of pushing potential. Once you get a couple of levels, you get that level 6 mark, and that nuke does hurt. And a Faceless Void on top of this. They are very, very scaling heavy. If KP could drag this game on to, an hour, then they should be able to win. And wow, Alliance gonna go for a Kunkka. quite frankly, I have no idea what's going on here. I wish I could offer some sort of explanation for these final 3 picks in the Kunkka, Faceless Void, and Death Prophet. I don't know. They chose the Death Prophet knowing that Alliance would choose someone for S4, but they didn't know who it was. So that in itself is incredibly risky, since Death Prophet isn't the strongest mid lane control hero. The nuke, yes, definitely does hurt. And fortunately for them, going up against the Night Stalkers, the Death Prophet should be decent enough. But the Death Prophet is fragile. She needs golden experience, a lot of golden experience to really be effective, more so experience. And then once she does get that, she could go for a good amount of pushing. But I'm not too sure about it. What? Why is Pylai die on the Faceless Void?
10 seconds remaining.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
5 seconds
My head
remaining.
is just exploding right now, and not in the good way either. I mean, I definitely appreciate seeing Death Prophets with Faceless Voids and Gyrocopters. It looks like it's going to be a support Gyrocopter, and Pylai...
Prepare for battle.
Okay. This is a good example of them adapting with their game, I suppose. But first of all, before I go into any of this any deeper, let's go over who's playing what. Arise is going to be playing that Death Prophet mid, probably going to be running up against S4's Night Stalker. Bone is going to be playing that Clockwork. Bottom lane is going to be Come With Me on the Gyrocopter. Pylai Die on the Faceless Void carrying, and Zizu supporting as the Venomancer. Loda is going to be playing the Kunkka. EGM is on the Shadow Fiend. Dual lane mid. Okay, that makes sense. Admiral Bulldog in the hard lane as the Nature's Prophet. Not the Nature's Prophet. That's the Lone Druid. Aki is going to be playing the Chen in the jungle, and S4 is going to be soloing up the top lane. He's going to be running into the Clockwork, which should be a relatively easy lane there. But this is a classic, I don't know if Cupad run this anymore, but I know that the old Mouse Sports used to run this. They do like their Kunkka. I think Cupad do run this. That's the team with Sing Sing, Wagamama, Select, who used to play StarCraft. They run this quite a lot, and it's a pretty good dual lane, especially if the hero on the other end is so soft. I mean, Death Prophet doesn't really have any stuns, doesn't really have any way of defending herself if she does get hit by a disruption, and that disruption will combo off straight into a torrent. And on top of that, they will constantly be able to throw out these Tidebringers. These Tidebringers will chip down the Death Prophet really, really well, and she actually did not prep herself for a fast bottle. She held on to a little bit of gold, yes, but getting that Mantle of Intelligence to make things a little bit easier to last hit was because that she expected to be up against S4 in this mid lane as the Night Stalker, which would have meant that she wouldn't be taking this damage, but instead she's going to be going up against a dual lane mid from Alliance, and you can see her rise already forced back quite a bit by EGM. I do like this play by Alliance. It makes sense, gotta say. I still don't know what the rationale for the Death Prophet pick was. The pool of heroes was quite slim. I don't believe Magnus was banned or picked, although I could just be mistaken. Magnus wouldn't be the best in this situation either, but he would have the skewer to get himself out of here, whereas Death Prophet kind of just going to have to deal with the eventual harassment from the Tidebringer from Loda. What is going to go well for KP is that Pylai Die in this bottom lane is going to be receiving pretty much free farm. Admiral Bulldog just trying to... Where's his bear? Did they kill his bear? No, they don't have any experience. They didn't kill his bear. His bear is definitely alive. Where the hell is his bear? Well, in the top lane there's a fight. I don't know why S4 isn't fighting Bone. He's not hitting him at all. You could just punch him, you know, like you're stuck in the cogs. You're not hitting him. Not too sure what that was about. But yeah, where the hell is Admiral Bulldog's bear?
First blood.
God damn it. I'm so like messed up right now. I have no idea what's happening. We just have EGM trying to poke a little bit at this Death Prophet, and well, making these damage trades with a Zizu coming around, not going to benefit you. The Gale's going to open up, and there's no disruption to save yourself, so that's going to be first blood for Arise. They really want to give it to this Death Prophet, and Death Prophet is going to claim it. But seriously, somebody tell me, where's the bear? There's the bear, now I see him, but where was he? He got resummoned. He must have died. You should have denied this to Bulldog. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on right now, guys. I just simply do not understand. But the Death Prophet will give KP a little bit of pushing. The weird thing is that, well, as I just barely go up to a top lane and catch Aki's rotation with S4's help, killing off Bone 7, I have missed every single kill. This is me being a little bit distracted right now. It will give KP a little bit of pushing power once they do get to level 6 and then eventually the higher points in Witchcraft on the Death Prophet. But the weird thing is that usually when this does happen, the teams go for a little bit more pure push. And what I mean by that is you don't pick up a Death Prophet willy-nilly. You get her to complement your already existing pushing lineup. And really, there is no already existing pushing lineup outside of the Venomancer, and even then, that's a little bit shaky, I would say. But it will give them a little bit of an opportunity to take down towers, but they still have to worry about the eventual levels from Admiral Bulldog, who this game is getting it's getting shut down pretty hard. He's stacked up the Ancients, or tried to, cleared off 2 of those small dragons, but that's about it. I think his bear must have died to the Ancients. That must have been what happened. I definitely didn't see it on the map, and I can't think of any other way for it to have gone and got itself killed. So that must have been it. So that's alright. I guess I solved that mystery. At least we will close the case onto that one. But we do see Zizu as well as Come With Me, just doing a little bit of dewarding in this mid area. Support Gyrocopter is going to be the order of business. I was surprised that Pylai was playing the Faceless Void, just because, well, Eternal Envy usually plays the Faceless Void for the KP side, but he, for whatever reason, is not in this game right now. And Pylai played the support last game, whereas Come With Me played the Gyrocopter, or played the carry. Pylai was support, Come With Me was carry. Now they're going to possibly go for EGM. He's going to take that rocket to the face, and well, he's going to be fine to take that one. Not going to use any sort of mana to defend himself with a disruption. Meanwhile, top lane S4 as well as Bone 7 still going toe-to-toe with each other. It is 18 for 2 versus 21 for 0, so it's very, very even lane up on that top. Admiral Bulldog finally having his creep wave pushed all the way to the tower will give him a little bit of a shot for some experience, for some gold. No Pylai still leading the way in both of those over this bottom lane by a good amount. Middle lane, the Rise is going to start to get chipped down. He will have his bottle available. He, in fact, does have it right now and is using it right now. But Loda with this short cooldown of the Tidebringer means that Rise is going to get chunked down pretty hard. And Death Prophet's definitely not a tanky hero. She's not a hero that could actually constantly take that chip damage and be okay with it. Because really, until she gets some sort of regenerative item, which I'm assuming is going to be a mech, really the options for her are rather slim. Now Loda might be in a little trouble. EGM fan, that is Come With Me, going to go straight for Loda. Where's the defensive disruption? EGM wants to get it. He will land it, so the missile is going to get denied, but the rocket barrage is going to be enough with the right clicks to kill off the Shadow Demon regardless. Shadow Demon sacrificing himself to save Loda. In the meantime, top lane Bone trying to get a kill into S4, but Aki is here, and he will pick him off. S4 living at just a sliver of HP up on this top lane. It is now 2 for 2 as I finally caught 2 of the kills. Well done me. I don't know why I'm so distracted right now, but looks like I will catch a couple of kills regardless. It is 2-2 on this top lane. S4, that is his second assist. Both times Aki has left the jungle. He has picked up a kill onto this Clockwork, and now he's getting some pretty good levels. Already level 6 on this Chen. If you could outstrip the clock with your levels, then you know that you're doing well. And Chen's definitely doing that. And hook shot, long range in from Bone. Night Stalker sitting at a little bit too overconfident, perhaps. Torrent, faked out by Loda. And how am I supposed to catch those? I mean, he was at, like, no HP. Bone was going anyway. God damn it. I'm just so distracted right now. I don't know. I should just, like, stop recording right now and just, like, resume 6 minutes into the game a little bit later. But regardless, we do have a missile flying out to Aki. He is running away from Come With Me, very low on HP, but he does have 2 creeps to defend himself. So even if this missile does hit, I don't think it'll be good for him to dive in. Here comes EGM. Gonna find a disruption on that Gyrocopter. Make a couple of illusions. The first nighttime is up. Here comes S4. 2 points to that Hunter in the night. He will get a nuke onto EGM. On Come With Me, EGM fan. We will bring him down. Gyrocopter going a little bit too aggressive, perhaps, versus that Chen. Now Bone might be in a little trouble as well. He did bring down Night Stalker constantly low over and over again, but now he's going to be going up against the Night Stalker during the night, as well as Chen creeps coming in. Bone doing some pretty good damage right now, but here comes Chen. Now the fun's over. Cogs are going to go up, but S4 might actually die to this one. Bone is going to get the kill before he himself does go down. Well played. He's going to try to run away. Those phase boots, though, really, really helping him. He does have support coming in, but he's stuck in a corner. His options are pretty much zero at this point. He is going to go down. Aki, though, is going to get a missile targeted towards him. More support is coming in from a Rise. Aki, though, still does have a troll net. He is going to use it to hold out the Gyrocopter for just a little bit more. And Aki is going to survive once again. 3 kills onto him. Level 8 on this Chen. That is an absurd amount of levels on this Chen, whereas, you know, Zizu only level 4. Granted, it's a Venomancer versus a Chen. Not really a entirely fair comparison. Oh no, Gyrocopter, you probably don't want to be here. Here comes Chen once again with that troll, and well, he has a lot of trolls. EGM is not EGM fan. Why do you have two people named EGM? I really dislike this from Come With Me. He's gonna get dropped down. Bone trying to go for the real EGM. He's gonna trust himself. Maybe he'll pop out on the other end. Torrent is there, however. Loda has moved in from the mid lane. He is going to survive. EGM's gonna survive. Boat coming in, not gonna hit down to anyone. Oh, it's actually gonna hit onto a Rise. Hand of God does fly out. Nuke flying through, knocking down to EGM. That Hand of God keeping him alive. And S4 finds himself a triple kill on this top lane. Arise coming in just to feed himself into the grinder. Level 1 ultimate on Death Prophet with only level 1 Witchcraft is not a spectacular spell at all. It costs a ton of mana. It doesn't really do that much damage. Yes, it is very intimidating. If you pop it off, then the enemy team will be like, oh shit, we gotta get the hell out of here. But that's about it. And now this top lane push from Alliance is going to come through, and there's really nothing that KP could do against this. Come with me. Gonna try to set up some missiles. Gonna try to pull the aggro off, which you will do, but the Chen creep's still very, very healthy. In the meantime, bottom lane is being pushed, and mid lane is also getting killed. Death Prophet, with just a drive-by from S4, is going to die once again. Top lane still being pushed, and the hookshot gets blocked. And Bone's still gonna try to go for it. The Chen creep's doing some pretty good damage versus Bone, and he just needs one more hit. Load again to set the Torrent. No, it's the boat actually. That is what I call a fail boat. No mana for a Torrent. S4 though is here for the nuke onto the clockwork, and now the missile is going to get killed in midair. And Come With Me, gonna get disrupted. He's completely surrounded. Everyone from Alliance actually coming up here. First hit entangle. Not like it matters, but it is going to be Alliance taking even more kills in this game. But still, they have to worry about KP's Pili die on the spot lane. 2,500 Gs on this Faceless Void. 9 minutes into the game. Probably will head towards a Battle Fury. I imagine if he was going to go for Hand of Midas, he would have picked that one up already. Let's see if there's anything on the Courier. There is not. So, yeah, it's probably going to be a Battle Fury from Pili die. Try to just get some Turbo Farm. But right now, especially this Gyrocopter Come With Me, not doing all too great. Bone is dying a lot more often than really he should at this point. His skill build is pretty solid to be very aggressive, and that's exactly what he's doing. But really, does he need to be aggressive versus No-Tide versus Alliance? Not to the point of diving into the Chen constantly. I feel like that is a little bit of an overestimation of his tankiness on the clockwork, but he's probably going to go for round 2 versus Admiral Bulldog, who is now salving up. There's the hook shot in. That was almost... No, that wasn't blind hook, but now Admiral Bulldog trying to transform. That nuke from the Death Prophet will kill him off. Sitting around a little bit too low amounts of HP. S4 though, gonna go for a Rise. Zizu is here as well as Pili die with that Chronosphere. So if any aggression attempts happen from Alliance, it's going to be met with the Chronosphere and then an evacuation. Nothing should happen on this mid lane. At least if it does, it's going to be extremely messy from Alliance. But Loda does have his ship once again, and looks like they want to go for another mid push. Where is Admiral Bulldog? He is still in the base. He's going to go for an armlet on his bear. They don't really need him. They do have 2 Dark Troll Summoners, and that means a lot of skeletons. S4 going to try to go for Come With Me. S4, the jukes, too strong, and S4 has now got to run. Bone going to catch him with the Cogs. No Cogs. Where was the Cogs? S4 going to silence and make sure there's no... Actually going to silence Pili die, make sure there's no Chronosphere. S4 is still going to escape here. EGM trying to go for his fan, but he's going to get Chronosphere. Now a slow beat down. Poor EGM. One more Shadow Poison. What level Shadow Poison is this? Level 2, that won't kill him off. So EGM going in a little bit, jumping the gun perhaps. Meantime, the mid lane being counter pushed pretty well by Zizu with level 3 wards, as well as Arise throwing out those Crypt Swarms whenever he does feel like doing so. But No-Tide, damn it, Alliance is so friggin'... I don't know when their little team name thing like this is going to change. But I can tell you one thing, it cannot happen soon enough. It should have been changed already, for Pete's sake. Mech is coming up on Aki. He will have that relatively shortly. 305 on him. This Chen is pretty much swimming in money. Level 10. He is the highest level on the map. No, he's not. Night Stalker is doing a little bit better with his rotation, even though he's had a little bit of a tough time on the top lane versus that Clockwork. Now, level 10. Nighttime is still up for a couple minutes. If he can get one more kill, that will mean that he has a level 2 darkness, and that is pretty much the holy grail of Night Stalker play. You're not going to get much better than that, and looks like the kill is going to be on the gyro. He will have to worry about the rocket barrage, but S4 is fearless right now. Nuke into silence. into no silence. Gonna bait out the rocket barrage, eat the missile to the face. EGM is here as well. The missile is just going to be beaten, killed off by the Shadow Demon. One more. He will get it, and the missile's down. But EGM fan still does have that Shadow Poison on him, so they know that he's very weak. S4 getting blocked a little bit by EGM. And they're going to find him. Admiral Bulldog rotating in as well. Just one simple nuke, and, well, I guess a little bit more than one simple nuke. One nuke and a right click. There you go. There goes Come With Me. Now Rise trying to play Ring Around the Rosie, but here comes the rest of Alliance. Loda with a torrent is going to land to Rise. Double damage as well as the boat. Going to come right through. The X marks spot is not there, actually, from Loda. Boat going to completely miss, although it does give them all that rum buff. But in the end, it is going to be a level 10, almost level 11 Night Stalker who's going to spot out Pilot Die, cancel off the TP. Does he want to fight this, however? He knows that there's a Chronosphere on the other end, and a Lightning Hammer is the pickup for Faceless Void. So kind of Battle Fury asks Zizu, what the hell are you doing there, bro? Yeah, EGM's coming around, doesn't have mana for a disruption, but it will have it soon enough. There it is, Zizu. In the middle of frickin' nowhere. I gotta be honest, I don't know why. Maybe he thought they have wards, there was no one here. I have no idea. Oh, Aki. Gonna get hit by Cronus here. This is gonna be the death of him and probably all his creeps as well. Rocket Flare flying through, and with the Lightning Hammer as well as the Crypt Storm, yeah, Aki gonna be set back a lot. Loda has teleported in as well, gonna get a torrent out, but the missile is gonna be set up for him. Doesn't really matter though, because the tower is going to drop. So I do like this from Pilot Die. Not going to go for the more expensive Battle Fury instead. Oh, Loda might be in a little trouble actually. Call down, will it hit? No, it won't. Bone looking for a hook shot. Jukes from Loda, not going to be enough. Bone with the laser sights. And Gyrocopter does get the last right click. Tower still alive somehow, but here comes Admiral Bulldog as well as EGM going to go for a Rise. The very, very weak hero has Power Tread's agility, trying to get a little bit more mileage out of the magic wand. But unfortunately for the Death Prophet, she's not tanky enough to withstand an Admiral Bulldog Bear, as well as EGM coming in with maxed out Shadow Poison. 14 minutes into the game, Alliance picked up 1 kill a minute thus far in KP. Although they do have the Faceless Void on their team, he really needs to get a little bit more farm. The Maelstrom will help for that. It's I said for a Battle Fury-esque items because it lets you farm a little bit more. Not as dependable, obviously, because Cleave hits every time, whereas the Lightning does not hit every time. But Pilot Die, and you really didn't need the Ring of Health in the early stage, so you might as well just go for Maelstrom. It's a pretty good item, and it'll kill people very effectively, single target, just as much as it will on the when they're all clumped up. The tower did manage to survive, and Zizu just constantly setting up these wards. Well, now he's out of mana because he derped up and hit the wrong button, and now he's gonna have to go back to the base unless he has a little more mana left. It's only 20 mana per pop on the Plague Wards anyway. But that is not how you want to use that ultimate. You probably would want to wait until there's people around you to press that button. I'm no pro on Venomancer, but I'm pretty sure that's how people do it. Arise on this mid lane, looking for a level 11 on him. A level 2 on the Exorcism will give him another 8 additional spirits. In addition to that, they will have 17 spirits total, and that's some substantial damage. Probably not going to cast his ultimate for this tower. He will wait for that level 11, so in case a fight does break out, he will be able to actually contribute something to that fight. You can see level 1 Exorcism, 4 spirits, and like, what, 7 spirits total with level 1 Exorcism. Ah, there's the ultimate, actually. He wants to pop it off since there is going to be a fight. Loda is going to use X Mark onto Rise. Hookshot going to come in from Bone. Going to catch onto Aki. Aki is good as dead. He's alone. He's going to pop with the Hand of God as well as the mech. Going to stall up KP as much as he can. Here comes S4, though. Torrent is going to land onto Bone. Ship is going to come as well. Crash into the Clockwork. He's going to die to all the Chen creeps. Caesar going to get entangled by Admiral Bulldog as well. And S4, he wants more. He's going to go on the chase for Pilot Die, who's now going to pop up in the mana for a Chronosphere. And he's going to try to juke around the trees. He will time walk away and be just fine. But that is 3 down for KP, as well as a tower in favor of Alliance. And they're going to keep going. They have the bear. They have everyone assembled together in one place with the exception of Chen. But I mean, really, Chen doesn't have anything to contribute to this outside of what he already is contributing, which is a whole bunch of creeps. They're going to fall back. They know that KP still have the Chronosphere, and they have the call down as well. And that's a lot of damage. But no, Alliance have effectively taken out all the tier 1 towers, where they themselves still have one on the top lane tower, on the top lane. And Nightstalker has an armlet. Yes, Yes, he has an armlet. Claymore onto Lotus, so he's going to go for a Shadow Blade. They're going to go straight for Roshan. Where are the Chen creeps? They are just chilling, waiting for their master, perhaps. They don't really need the Chen creeps, but more stuff to tank this Roshan will make it that much easier in KP. Although they may be able to scout it out with a flare. No, they're not going to scout it with a flare. They have no clue what's happening. and that's going to mean a Aegis for no tide for Alliance. They're taking a lot of damage from this actually. Mech gonna keep it alive with a little bit more armor, but it's gonna be the very, very slow Roshan, but hell, it will be a Roshan nonetheless, and that will probably go on to this Kunkka. Kunkka does take it up. Now he's only 200 away from his Shadow Blade. Top lane will be pushed down from KP. See if Arise, actually teleportation coming in, 2-3 teleportations, instantly Chronosphere, and Loda is now going to burn his Aegis immediately. Admiral Bulldog's going to come through as well, going to take a Poison Noah to the face. S4 dodging a lot of that damage, but he's going to get hookshot immediately by Bone 7. Loda going to set up for that Shadow Blade hit, do very large amounts of damage to KP. The boat's going to come through as well, kill off Pylai Die, but now Loda is way over his head. He's going to try to juke his way out. Disruption from EGM going to bring him a little bit more time, but Loda is still stuck in the corner. He's going to die. Arise with the ultimate doing a lot of damage, and really no tide coming in one at a time versus the Faceless Void with the Chronosphere. A very, very poor decision from them. EGM going to take a Gale, try to bring down his fan, and that Earn Charge, it's going to be close. Oh, positive Earn Charge, and he will survive. Well done. But 4 down for Alliance, and coming in one at a time, Chronosphere is a good spell, and you don't want to teleport and really... Okay. How do I want to put this? Chronosphere is the kind of skill... Oh. Boom, baby. Very nice by Bone. Oh, I saw it, Clockwork. I saw it. Of course I saw it. But Chronosphere is the type of skill that relies on positioning. Like, if you get... the only way you get a 3-man Chronosphere is if 3 people are clumped up together. And... damn it, Pylai Die. And it's so easy to get a 3-man Chronosphere when they say, hey, I'm going to be right here, Admiral Bulldog's going to be right here, and S4 is going to be right here, so just Chronosphere us, man. We are perfectly choreographing where we will be in a fixed amount of time, and that is just a critical mistake from Alliance doing that. I mean, yes, if they did manage to get into that fight, they would have had a good chance, but instantly Kunkka was picked off. Right following that was Admiral Bulldog getting picked off. And although S4 did survive for a little bit longer, I mean, it shouldn't have gone that way. They should have teleported to their tier 2s. If they wanted to fight that, they should have fortified and then ran in with a boat or something, or a Shadow Blade Loda initiating, but teleporting straight into a Chronosphere, would not recommend that. That is not a good idea, and really you could see why. X marks onto a Rise. He will brought up into the air, but now at this point he does have his drums, so he'll be able to take a couple more hits. Loda gonna have a missile targeted after him. The Sentry Ward is down. He's gonna get hit by a hookshot as well as a call down. Loda is going to just explode. There he goes. Bone wants more with that battery assault, wants to lock down EGM. Gonna get disrupted by himself, but the nuke is gonna clear off everything, and Bone gonna get a killing spree out of this Clockwork so far. Redeeming his possibly perhaps a little bit over aggressive play from the early mid stages where he did take a couple of deaths, but now right now his hook shots are just on the mark. He's been hitting everyone left, right, and center, and this is going to mean that KP have an opportunity for a push onto this mid lane. Questionably enough, not maxing out the Witchcraft for Death Prophet, which would have made the push a little bit stronger, but he does still have 2 points in Exorcism, and they could go for a push if they do choose to do so. S4, though, hunting that Courier. Let's see if he can catch up to it. 472 versus the 350. He does have more movement speed, but the Courier does, of course, have that flying movement type. Pylai Die going to run straight into S4. Start off with the bashing. First hit. Does he have a time walk, man? He does not. S4 going to pop off his invisibility rune. Does have a missile flying on after him, but that shouldn't really matter all too much because the invisibility rune will keep him safe. Oh no, unless that was close. S4 playing with fire. The missile's still on after him. This is the journey of the best homing missile of all time. He's going to hit S4 no matter what. Plink. And do like no damage because he has so much health. And it's level 1 missile, so pretty useless. Shadow Blade is actually coming up for Come With Me as well. A lot of damage being brought up by KP. Pylai Die even going for a Mask of Madness. A little bit of a aggressive choice. You know, of course, if you do get hit out of your Chronosphere somehow with a ship or with a torrent, then you're going to be really unhappy. Oh, Loda going to find the Courier. And the Courier just like did a complete like 720 and died. But now, oh no, you guys should not be here. You should not be here. There is EGM Fan getting spotted out. Demonic Purge will bring him down. Call down doing a little bit of damage to Loda as well as Aki, but here comes the Chronosphere, gonna latch onto two of them. Bone gonna come in as well, but Loda immediately dead. Aki gonna die soon after. No mech. The mech will pop off, as will the Hand of God, but it's not gonna matter. He will die regardless to one more nuke. EGM trying to teleport his way onto there, but the battery assault will deny him that opportunity. 3 down for No Tide. Admiral Bulldog had nothing to do with that at all. He's just pushing out the top lane all by himself, but the Chronospheres from Pylai Dai looking to be really good, and Bone even coming in to that as well. He did get stopped by the friendly Chronosphere, granted, but he did set up for a good amount of damage with that battery assault as well as a flare. And really, Alliance clumping up a little bit too much. Yes, they did pick off the courier, but as well as Gyrocopter, but the call down, the fact that Gyrocopter was out there as bait forced Alliance into a situation where they are all in close proximity with each other. And once that happens, that means the Chronosphere is going to be a lot easier to land. That means Hookshot is going to come in. That means even a Rise is going to start throwing in some nukes. He's going to go for a Force Staff, so he's going to rely a lot on positioning and really the wall formed by Pylai Dai to keep him safe. Right now for KP, it's really all about the cogs as well as the Chronosphere. They're going to use that to zone out Alliance because they are all mostly melee. Oh, Torrent did hit Pylai Dai somehow, but it didn't cancel off the TP. Okay. But basically, KP, what they're going to do is use the cogs to form a wall, use the Chronosphere to form another wall, and really, once that happens, the melee-heavy lineup of Alliance with the Lone Druid, with the Kunkka, with the Night Stalker won't be able to get close. And if they do get close, you get Force Staff, you get Drums, you could keep your distance, and really just keep checking those spells. Faceless Void should be able to pick up someone within the confines of that Chronosphere as well, so they're really just going to go for a kiting game versus Alliance. Alliance, though, the way they could get around that, of course, is to try to go for smoke ganks, but just with so much stuff in their way between who's doing the damage and, you know, the cogs and the Chronospheres, it's going to be difficult for them to close the distance and actually do well. Boat is going to be a huge factor in that. Just that Rum effect alone is a huge boon for Alliance. They could hopefully try to prevent some of the physical damage from the Death Prophet, or if they could just go aggressively onto EGM fan right here, which they will do. Open up with the nuke. Silence as well. Looks like S4 really wants this, but he get hookshotted immediately. There's the cogs going to go up, and S4 is trapped in with Bone. Here comes the ship. You can do some heavy damage to Loda with that Blade Mail up onto Bone, but a Chronosphere is going to happen onto 3. EGM, Loda, as well as Admiral Bulldog. EGM going to survive with the mech as well as Hand of God, and Pylai Dai just not doing enough damage even with that Mjolnir. Loda, though, revealed from that true sight. Admiral Bulldog on the run. That will be 3 down for No Tide. Once again, S4 somehow survived that. I don't have any idea how. Pylai Dai going to backtrack the last nuke from Aki, and here comes Come With Me. Aki is on the run. Crypt Swarm, oh, not going to hit onto the Night Stalker, but there's a Gale. Will hit onto the Chen, and time walk in from Pylai Dai. They know where S4 is. Is there any more to slow him down? He will get it away successfully. But KP with the Chronosphere once again catching out 3 while the rest of the team just does work. Chronosphere into a Death Prophet ultimate is pretty good because you could actually still attack with the Death Prophet spirits even though the Chronosphere is up. And that's a lot of time where those spirits, where they would normally be kited a little bit because they're not exactly the fastest things in the game, they're going to be attacking pretty freely. And even though Alliance did get the Hand of God as well as the mech off, it just simply wasn't enough for to compare to the damage that KP were throwing out. The instant Clockwork Hook into the Night Stalker from the get-go, really shutting down a lot of the No Tide of the Alliance utility as well as damage. Now that Tier 2 Tower might be in a little bit of danger, Admiral Bulldog is here to try to defend this. Rocket Flare will hit a little bit onto them, but looks like it's going to be it. No Death Prophet ultimate, no Exorcism quite yet. And everyone is going to fall back. KP seem to be content with just farming up. I do think a couple of smokes would be nice for them, but although they do have the Gyrocopter who is transitioning now into a little bit more of a damage-oriented role with his own Shadow Blade to match that of the Kunkkas. And a support Gyrocopter is not leading too far behind as far as behind Loda's farm. Pylai Dai with the orb effects that he's stacking up, Mask of Madness as well as the Mjolnir, probably will look towards a, there's the smoke, will look towards a Butterfly eventually. Once he gets that, there's going to be no way for Alliance to touch him. He will be pretty much have free reign over the enemy team. Unless the enemy team is going to get an MKB for some reason. But Kunkka, not really a hero known to get MKBs. The Bear will probably get one. Night Stalker is going to go for a BKB first. So MKB not going to happen for a long time. The evasion for the Faceless Void is going to be very, very big for him. As it is already with that. This is a little bit too slow. There we go. As it is already with maxed out backtrack. And now we do have EGM fan leading the way, going to use the Shadow Blade, spot out Aki. Where that was a weird Chronosphere. Caught the Centaur for sure. Here comes a boat, not going to do anything at all. Pilot Die taking a good amount of damage though with that huge crit, but the call down going to zone everyone out. The Venomancer ultimate as well. Defensive disruption will actually that would save S4. And now EGM fan stuck in a corner with that Night Stalker. Bone is in here as well. The Cog will do enough damage on Rise, trying to survive with that ultimate up, but Admiral Bulldog as well as Loda do have enough damage this time. Bone on the run. Where's the bear? Not going to happen. It's actually Shadow Demon with 5 HP, still alive. Bone wants him dead. Oh, it will kill him off with the Cogs. When was the last time you saw Cogs kill someone? Oh, the Torrent dodged by Bone. Very well played by this Clockwork thus far, but this time it is an even trade for Alliance. This fight definitely not going as well for KP as the previous ones did, and Bone on the run will stick the landing and teleport on out of there. This time that Chronosphere was used only on the Chen, and that was really the difference between this fight and the previous fights, whereas the previous fights Chronosphere landed on, 3 heroes both times. This one only landed on 1. And that Chen, yes, he is a threat with the amount of heals that he's putting out with the high damage nuke as well. You really need to lock down a little bit more than that. And the boat kept Kunkka alive while the Clockwork kind of working a little bit against KP, really shutting down Come With Me's chance for maneuverability with that Shadow Blade did force him to die in that last fight. So KP, their zoning technique really not working out too well. You know the Cogs were over here and the Chronosphere was already expended, so the fighting area was all over here. That means Death Prophet was going to get aggressed upon by the Night Stalker, by the Lone Druid. And those are just heroes that arise with the item kit that he has chosen for this Death Prophet cannot really withstand against. And now that is going to be an Aegis for the Alliance side. Let's take a look at how the gold, very, very even this game. Experience slightly in favor of KP, albeit not by much. That experience lead is not going to mean very much of anything. Death Prophet is pretty much maxed out. She will just now go for bulk. Ghost Scepter is a very good item choice in this game, actually. Not much nuking damage from the Alliance squad. I am going to really have to practice saying Alliance instead of No Tide, but I'm sure it'll be a lot easier once this is changed. That is what I'm going to say, and hopefully that will be a fact. 28 minutes in, 26 to 23. What is going to be the objective for the Alliance? Pilot Die still on this top lane, still farming it up. Going to go for an Ogre Club, so he probably wants a BKB. Smells something coming, although he's going to be completely safe. Ogre Club. Possibly a... Oh, it could be an Aghanim Scepter. It's an item that you wouldn't go on a quote-unquote carry Faceless Void. And he is going for very attack speed oriented build, so he's not doing the most amount of damage that he could possibly go. Like, not going for the Battle Fury, instead going for the Lightning will mean that his damage is a little bit more insecure. And if you go for that Chronosphere that is empowered by the Aghanim Scepter, that means that you will have Come With Me doing a lot more damage. That means you'll have a Rise doing a lot more damage. And although you won't be doing as much damage yourself as the Faceless Void, you will be enabling your team to do a lot more damage. So we'll see if he wants to go for that. It could be, of course, a BKB. Will help him a lot versus the Alliance side. Oh. What? Loda. Oh, there they are. Fight to the death. There's the Torrent. This time will not hit. What? Okay, well, I think I saw that episode before. Hate reruns, but sometimes you gotta deal with that. We'll see what this Faceless Void wants to do. It could just be, of course, a BKB. I mean, then you could just pop it, go to town. Even with the Chronosphere down, he will feel safe to have that Mask of Madness up and just, right-click into the enemy side. But I do like the idea of going for an improved Chronosphere in this game. It just, drops the cooldown by 40 seconds, which is huge. Gives you an additional second with that of which Arise, as well as Come With Me can just sit there and do the damage. Won't be the worst decision. Won't be the worst item choice in the world. IMO. Did I just say IMO? And yeah, screw it. I'm saying it sarcastically. Screw you. Don't judge. Don't judge me. But a push down the mid lane. Alliance wants this tier 2 tower. BKB is up on Loda, which will help him quite a bit, but not versus this Chronosphere or the Death Prophet ultimate. He's still going to take all that damage. Rise just narrowly dodging that, and here we go. Bone 7 gonna latch in onto EGM. The self-destruction needs to be cast. There it is. Aki is here with the mech, and Arise gets entangled. He will have that ultimate if he wants to do it, but EGM gonna get popped immediately. There's the Chronosphere onto Loda S4 as well as Admiral Bulldog. That's the ultimate that KP wants, and the ultimate from Death Prophet does fly out. He's getting focused by the bear, which did get not cut out in the Chronosphere. Arise actually is sitting in the middle of everything. He's gonna try to go for S4. He's gonna get 4 stats up to the high ground where Bone 7 has already picked off 1. It's gonna be the Lone Druid. Now he's gonna get a double kill. Aki very, very low on HP, starting to drop, gonna try to go for Rise, just needs one more nuke, but these spirits working him down, and Rise with the ultimate active is going to clean the rest up. Loda with the BKB as well as Shadow Blade on the run. Pilot Die though is there with that first hit bash, and that's gonna be the Kunkka dead as well. S4, the only one to escape from that, and Chronosphere, just saying, it's pretty good. Did he buy back? He did buy back, so that's a lot of gold out of the pocket of Pilot Die, but buying back in exchange for a 4-man wipe, that is very much so worth it. They could get 2 towers out of this actually. Rise unfortunately doesn't have the exorcism to push. Usually if you use it for a fight, you're not going to have it for a push, but regardless, they should have enough damage to deal with this. S4 really can't do anything about this. Loda is going to buy back, does have a boat as well as Torrent, which you could throw a couple of times at the KP side. Yeah, and KP, they're just going to fall back. Better safe than dead, as I was. Oh no, EGM fan, maybe. He's going to get launched into the air. Where's the additional damage? Call down is going to happen, and Bone getting hit square on by the boat, but he's instantly going to turn all that damage with that blade mail. S4 trying to go for Pilot Die, but even if they do man fight it out, he's not going to win. I feel like Faceless Void at this point could just duel the Night Stalker very, very easily. And everyone from KP going to fall back. They're going to play the slow and steady game, and really, right now, you don't really have to, because the Chronospheres now are starting to land from Pilot Die, and these, if they keep landing on 3 heroes, and on top of that, if they keep landing on 3 of the most important heroes of Kunkka, Lone Druid, as well as the Night Stalker, then these fights will go KP's way 100% of the time. Death Prophet was sitting on the outside with her Exorcism, even Venomancer stepping up for that huge amount of damage given by the level 2 now. Of the Poison Nova, and wow, a Heaven's Halberd being picked up from the Clockwork. Thought it was going to be an Aghanim Scepter with that point booster, but you can just go for that later. If he gets this, he will disarm now the bear from Admiral Bulldog, and that means that for a couple seconds, the bear, which has Armlet Basher almost AC, will effectively mean that, hey, you don't have an Armlet anymore, you don't have a Basher anymore, because you won't be able to attack, and no one's going to get a BKB on the bear or anything like that. I think you get a Lincoln's for the bear. That'll block it, but really that's not worth your gold. So very good choice from Bone to actually go for that item. I was considering Faceless Void would also go for that, but probably not as likely as BKB and or Aghanim Scepter. Now we see a big smoke up from the KP side. They're going to use Pilot Die as bait on the top lane. Hopefully try to bring someone from Alliance up there, and they're just going to return everything around with the Chronosphere with a call down, and then hopefully clean up a couple of Alliance heroes for them. Alliance, though, looks like they're not going to fall for it. They're going to go straight to the bottom lane, where it's probably going to be a tier 2 for a tier 2 trade. I'm not sure who pushes faster. KP, they do have the Exorcism, but no Tide, they have a bear. Not too sure. I think KP should push a little bit faster, actually. We'll see. Going to be base race. Who's going to retreat from this deadly game? Oh, no TPs. Oh my god, they don't have any TPs. Oh, this is a huge opportunity for Alliance. Fortification will slow them down just a little bit. Here comes the call down. She's going to thin out the creep wave just a little bit, but it's not going to bother No Tide too much. They do not have to worry about the backdoor protection. Here comes the latch in from Bone 7. S4 is going to get initiated upon, but instantly he's going to pop off everything he has. He's going to work down Bone 7. Even with that blade mail, though, Bone 7 is going to die. Going to try to escape with something. I don't know what the hell happened. Chronosphere, though, onto 3, as well as Arise's ultimate. There's the Venomancer ultimate as well. Aki down, as well as Loda and EGM. They're all going to fall. S4 on the run. Is there anything else? Is there a bash? Is there a time walk? First hit bash onto S4. Time walk going to miss, but it looks like it doesn't matter. S4 going to get bashed yet another time. He's on the run. Armlet toggling is the only way he has out of this now, but there's another time walk on this end, and a Plague Ward blocking his way. The missile's going to spot him out, I guess. Faceless Void going to jump in for another hit bash, and Arise is going to get a domination streak. No Tide, lose 4 in exchange for only the tier 1 tower, tier 3 tower, and this is a huge opportunity for KP to turn this one around. Lone Druid did not, he teleported out of that fight, but wow, KP with no TP scroll is kind of an uncharacteristic play by any pro team at all. That could have been disastrous for them. I mean, Alliance did take down the tier 3 tower, but in the end, the huge Chronospheres from Pylai die, as well as the ultimate damage, it is going to be BKB, as well as the ultimate damage from Arise, Venomancer coming in with the Poison Nova, and Alliance didn't have anything to come back from that. They just have to sit there and take the damage. And I mean, Kunkka, he's a strength hero. Yes, he has some decent strength growth at 3, but he's not going to be able to survive that much time where KP are just wailing on him. KP, are they really going to fall back right now? Yeah, they're kind of weak. They don't have a Chronosphere. Okay, it kind of makes sense. If they had all their ultimates up, they would in fact go for it. Loda looking for an X marks onto Zizu. Will find it. Torrent can land onto Zizu, force-staffing him to the right, but the boat's going to come and hit squarely onto Arise, killing off Venomancer as well. Arise is going to try to get him way out of there. Here comes Bone. Going to get the cogs up onto Loda, and the ultimate from the Death Prophet has been popped. Where's he going to go for? Pylai is already up in the top end, does not have enough mana for a Chronosphere. Loda gonna get silenced, Bone trying to lock him down with that Battery Assault, and is their true sight. There is something that's revealing them. It's a gem on the Death Prophet, has had that for a while. In fact, S4 now on the run. Missile is gonna hit onto him as well, unless he makes something happen. But the bash is there. Missile gonna follow through, but the BKB is up. Arise still doing heavy damage with that ultimate. S4 is gonna die. EGM on the run with his fan trying to chase him down for his autograph. Arise wants to get in there for the Shiva's Guard, will not happen, but he will be restored up to full HP with those, or almost full HP with those Exorcism Ghosts coming back, and Pylai still with enough mana for, still with the cooldown for that Chronosphere. Do they have any Arcane Boots? I don't think they actually do, but they have taken the melee racks, and now Alliance on the back foot. This team fighting potential from KP is absolutely absurd, and Bone, now he's using his hook shot for the hell of it. Why not? Even though Alliance have taken pretty much all the Aegises so far, I believe all the Aegises. Even though they took down the tier 3, they are still so far behind in these team fights just because of the control and lockdown from KP. I mean, you don't get any more lockdown-ish than the Chronosphere. That's pretty much as hard a lockdown as you could possibly get. Cogs in the way, getting in the way of Alliance as well. And it's really not looking good for Alliance, as the gold earned was even for a very large portion of time, but now starting to climb in favor of KP. And if these Chronospheres keep landing like they do so far, Pylai showing himself to be a very, very capable Faceless Void player, constantly landing Chronospheres on 3+ heroes. They will have to deal now with a Age to the Immortal on the Night Stalker. Cheese up on the bear? Shadow Demon's like, screw you guys, I want the cheese. I can give it to Loda. Makes sense. But mid lane, 1 Rax has been taken, and now they're going to prepare for smoke once again. Where are they going to go? Possibly the enemy Ancients? Loda might be in a little trouble. Gem still is up onto Arise. They don't want to use the ultimate from the Death Prophet before they get a little bit closer to the Alliance base. The Chronosphere, though, is something that they would feel free to burn. Oh, there we go. They know where Loda is. And Loda, is he going to back out of this? He's going to do one more cleave, try to clear off a couple more creeps, and he will back out, actually. So it looks like KP possibly just going to go for a straight push down the bottom lane for a tier 2. I mean, even Pylai, he's doing a lot of damage, but I think Come With Me is also starting to build up some pretty heavy threat as well. Monkey King Bar as well as Shadowblade. And if he's sitting in the back, he should be completely fine, as long as the Night Stalker doesn't dive on top of him. Here we go, Retaliation Smoke from Alliance. They want to catch KP when they are not expecting them to. And they think right now that Alliance are letting this tower fall, but if they could catch him with a big ship, this could be huge. Bone gonna reveal the smoke though. S4 gonna dive straight in. Who does he want to go for? He wants to go for Bone 7. He's gonna try to bring him down. Torrent missing the boat is gonna come through and hit onto 2. If they can bring down Arise, this could be huge. Here comes Pylai though for the 2-man Chronosphere. Loda is gonna get beaten down. No cheese available, and Death Prophet is sitting there with the spirits. And there's the right-click damage from Come With Me as well. Bear getting locked down. Plague the Venomancer ultimate will pop off, and the Aegis will bring S4 alive, but Pylai fighting him to the death. Cogs is going to save him 100 HP. The Faceless Void is going to make his way out of there. Bear still on the front lines, but still has a whole bunch of spirits chasing him. 3 are still up from No Tide from Alliance, but Arrow Bulldog not long for life, I'm afraid. The Flat Cannon will not be enough to bring him down. Bone on the front lines does have Cogs if he wants to do it. He does not going to do it. One right click will do him in. The Death Prophet ultimate has timed out, but the tier 2 tower is down, and Alliance have lost all 3 of their core heroes. No time for cheese on the Kunkka. Just the huge amount of damage. Even if you catch Death Prophet within... Oh, hookshot in for EGM. That guy's dead as well. Even if you catch your friendly Death Prophet with a Chronosphere, it doesn't matter if she already has her Exorcism up. That will do damage. And that would actually probably be safer for her. And now there's the GG. S4 has had enough. 41-26. KP with a very, very unorthodox kind of AoE team fighting build revolving around the Chronosphere. Very, very interesting strategy, and I gotta say, it definitely worked against Alliance, who themselves have run a little bit of a weird thing with the Kunkka pick. Not really working out too well for them. Didn't get as many kills onto a Rise as they really would have liked. But regardless, it is going to be enough to bring this series to a 1-1 tie. We're going to be moving on to game number 3, where we'll see who's going to take this set from whom. And, yeah, take the glory. Thanks you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, yeah, GG.